Okay, so hello and welcome to this session. Now, as all of these sessions are concerned, what we do basically is we solve a past paper question, which I consider, according to student feedback, as they found difficult. So in today's session, we are going to cover a question of September-December 20 exam with the name of health nuts. We will be doing a September-December 20 exam with the name of health nuts. Okay, you can find it on the ACCA website as well. September-December 20 exam health nuts. You can search on Google as well as you can view it on the screen as well. Okay, so I'm starting this. Please pay attention. Okay, the following scenario relates to five requirements, 20 marks, 5 requirements. Health Nuts is a fitness center offering pay-as-you-go gym facilities. It has a fully fitted gym with the capacity to accommodate 200 users at one time. It also has 100 car parking spaces and an on-site cafe, both of which are only for customers using the gym. The fitness center has shower facilities for customers, and Health Nuts provides all customers with a clean towel to use on entry. It is open 360 days a year from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. Okay. It's open 360 days a year. Okay. That means if you just generalize it, 360 days a year means it's open 30 days. Per month. Okay. So from the opening paragraph, we got the information that Health Nuts is a fitness center offering pay-as-you-go gym facilities. It has a fully fitted gym with the capacity to accommodate 200 users at one time. It also has 100 car parking spaces and on-site cafe, both of which are only for customers using the gym. Fitness center has shower facilities for customers, and Health Nuts provides all customers with a clean towel to use on entry. It is open 360 days a year. That means 30 days a month because there are 12 months in a year. So 360 days a year means 30 days a month. Customers pay 8.4 for access to the gym for 1 hour plus unlimited time in the cafe. If customers want to use the car park, they have to pay an additional $1 per visit. And 80% of visiting customers use the car park. If customers want to use the car park, they have to pay an additional $1 per visit. Customers pay 8.4 for the gym. But if they want to use the car park, they have to pay $1 per visit, and 80% visiting customers use the car park. Health Nuts has been monitoring the number of customers attending throughout each day for the month of June, which was considered to be an average month for which Health Nuts was open for 30 days. So it's monitoring the customers for June. It was considered to be an average month and for which Health Nuts was open for 30 days. It has determined that the average number of customers per day is 330. And 40 of these customers attending during the time of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, in June, it was open for 30 days and the average number of customers per day was 30. So June was an average month. Okay, it was open for 30 days and number of customers per day is 330. The total cost for the fitness center for June, excluding the cafe, have been recorded and analyzed as follows. The total cost excluding the cafe is fixed cost 48,000 and variable cost per customer is 1.2. On average, half of the customers also use the cafe in June. Okay, so half customers also use the cafe in June. So there are 330 customers per day. Half of them used the cafe as well. Okay, that means approximately 165. Half customers use the cafe as well. So 330 customers came in June and half used the cafe. So half means it's 165. With an average spend per customer of 2.2. So in cafe, the customer spent 2.2. Of this, 60% related to drinks, which have a profit margin of 60%. and remainder related to food items which have a profit margin of 40%. Specific fixed costs associated with running the cafe are 3,600 for the month. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draft some information here. Because as long as the information is getting drafted, it will be easier for you. Okay. So what is the question name here? Health nuts. Okay. Now, Health Nuts is a fitness center offering pay-as-you-go gym facilities. It has fully fitted gym with the capacity to accommodate 200 users one time. It also has 100 car parking spaces, on-site cafe, both are which for only customers using the gym. Fitness center, shower facilities, the towel, open for 360 days here. Customers pay 8.4 for access to the gym. If we talk about the gym, customer pays 8.4 for the gym. Okay. If customers want to use the car park, they have to pay an additional 1 per visit, and 80% of visiting customers use the park. So customers are paying two things, 8.4 for the gym and 1 per visit. 80% customers using the car park. That means if you find an average for the car, they're paying 0.8. Okay, 8.4 they are paying for the gym, 8.4, and 1 per visit. So 1 more they are paying, but 80% of customers are using the car park. That means on an average, we get 1 into 80%, 0.8. Health Nuts has been monitoring the customers attending throughout each day for the month of June, which was considered to be average month, for which Health Nuts was open for 30 days. Okay. Open for 30 days in June. Okay. It has determined average number of customers per day is 330. So number of customers per day, 330. Okay. 40 of these customers attending during time of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Total cost for June excluding cafe. Remove the cafe. Total cost is fixed cost 48,000 per month and variable cost per customer 1.2. Fixed cost excluding cafe 48,000 and variable cost per customer 1.2. This is what all information I have drafted for gym. Customer is paying 8.4, $1 he's paying for car park, but 80% are using, so 0.8. It's open for 30 days in June. Number of customers per day 330, fixed cost 48,000, variable cost per customer 1.2. Okay. On average, half of the customers also use the cafe in June with an average spend per customer of 2.2. Okay. Now move towards the cafe. It states half of the customers also use the cafe with an average spend per customer of 2.2. So customers half used the cafe in June. That means number of customers per day was 330. So 165 customers used the cafe. Okay. With an average spend per customer of 2.2. Customer paid 2.2. Okay. Of this, 60% related to drinks, which have a profit margin of 40%. Okay. And means drinks have a profit margin of 60%. That means the variable cost is going to be 40%, right? So from this 2.2, 60% related to drinks. 60% drinks. So 2.2 into 60% is for drinks. Remainder 40% is for food. So 0.4 into 2.2 is for food. Drinks have a profit margin of 60%. So drinks variable cost is 40%. And food have a profit margin of 40%. So variable cost is 60%. Okay, drinks have a profit of 60%. So variable cost is 40%. Drinks variable cost is 40%. So 0.4, 40% of 1.32. And food variable cost is 60%. You see, it's mentioned that food has a variable cost. Food have a profit margin of 40%. So variable cost is 60%. So 0.6 of food, 0.88, and fixed cost of cafe, 3,600. Okay, this is what I've made the data on. Okay. Okay, so in my opinion, we have gathered all the information, and I'm just going to repeat it again that Health Nuts is a fitness center offering pay-as-you-go gym facilities, fully fitted gym, capacity to accommodate 200 users, 100 car parking spaces, on-site cafe, fitness center, shower facilities. Customers pay 8.4 for gym. So I wrote that customer pays 8.4 for the gym. $1 for car park. 80% use the car park. So 0.8 they pay for car park average. Number of customers was 330 per day, and it was open for 30 days. Fixed cost 48,000, variable cost per customer 1.2. Then half of the customers use the cafe, so 330 half 165, and spend 2.2. So 165, 2.2 was easy. Now it was written of this 60% was for drinks, and remainder 40% was for food. So I split it into 60-40. And drinks had a profit margin of 60%. That means variable cost was 40%. So I took the drinks variable cost out, and they had a profit margin of 40%. So variable cost 60%. I took 60% out. Fixed cost is 3,600. Now there is something mentioned, Crucial proposal. After reviewing all the information, the manager of Health Nuts has put together a proposal to close the cafe at the fitness center and convert it into a creche for children. Creche is basically a babysitting area. Okay. This would mean parents could leave their children in the creche play area where they use the fitness center between hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. The charge for creche would be 4 per child per hour. It's a creche proposal that manager of Health Nuts has put together a proposal to close the cafe at the fitness center, convert it into a creche play area for children. Parents could leave their children in the creche while they use the fitness center, and charge for creche would be 4 per child per hour. Initial research suggests customers an average of 2 children. So it's 4 per child per hour. So there are 2 children for summer. That means you're going to get 8. Creche is expected to attract new customers, will increase the average number of customers between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. by 300%. If you can see, The average number of customers per day is 330, with 40 of these customers attending during time of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So 40 customers come during 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Initial research suggests customers an average of 2 children, so they're paying 4 per hour, 2 children 8. Creature is expected to attract new customers, increase number of customers between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. by 300%. That means the current customers between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. as per opening paragraph was 40. That's going to increase by 300%, 3 times. That means customers will increase by 120, because currently the customers between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. are 40, will increase by 300%, so increase by 120. Only these new customers will use the Crèche facilities. Only these will use the Crèche facilities. Car park usage is expected to continue to be 80%. The usage will be 80%. The fixed cost associated with running the Crèche are 8,000 per month, variable cost of 0.5 per child per hour. Okay. That's it. I haven't written anything about the Crèche, but I will write it. Okay, calculate both the number of customers Health Nuts needs to break even and the margin of safety as a percentage for the month of June for gym, cafe. So I need number of customers to break even and MOS, number of customers to break even and MOS. Okay. Okay, so number of customers company needs to break even and MOS percentage. These two things are required for the month of June, and it's asking separately for gym and the cafe. Now we have already gathered some information regarding gym and cafe. So it is asking number of customers break even, margin of safety percentage for gym and cafe. Okay, we need number of customers for break even for the gym and MOS percentage for the gym, and same for the cafe. Let's move towards the gym break even. You know, break even is basically, it's asking for June. So you need to use the June data, and I have written the June data. So break even is total fixed cost. If you can see, total fixed cost is 48,000 divided by contribution per unit. And contribution per unit is what the customer is paying, selling price less variable cost. So in my opinion, customer is paying you 8.4 and 0.8, 9.2. See, customer is paying you 8.4, and for car park 0.8 average, 9.2, less variable cost is 1.2. Break even is 6,000, total fixed cost 48,000 divided by contribution per unit, selling price 9.2, less variable cost 1.2. Okay. And as far as MOS percentage is concerned, for MOS percentage, we take budgeted customers less break-even customers over budgeted customers 200. So break-even customers are 6,000 for the whole month. Budgeted customers are 330 per day. Okay. And open for 30 days. So number of customers for the month, it's going to be 330 per day and 30 days, 9,900. So margin of 50 percentage, budgeted customers 9,900 minus break-even customers 6,000 divided by budgeted customers 9,900 into 100, 39.39%. Okay. So I am opening the box of those, both of these. For break even, I have opened the box. If you want, you can copy all this data, and for then margin of safety, I will open the box. Okay. I will open the box for one, and for other, I will write it. This was calculated as 48,000 divided by 9.2 minus 1.2. Okay. And for this, I've opened the cell. You can see it, and you can also copy the data. Then I will do it for the cafe. Okay, now as far as this thing that we need break even for the cafe as well. So total fixed cost for the month for the cafe are 3,600. Okay. And contribution per unit for the cafe is customer pay 2.2 minus variable costs of drink 0.528. And another variable cost is of the food 0.528. So if we do this 3,600 fixed cost divided by 2.2 minus 0.528 minus 0.528, this creates 3,146.853. It's break even. And if you need margin of safety percentage, okay, so it's budgeted customers. Budgeted customers are half. See, 165 per month. So customers in whole month, it's going to be exactly the half, 165 into 30, 4950. So budgeted customers are 4950 minus break-even customers are 3147 divided by budgeted customers 4950 into 100, 36.42%. Okay, you can copy this as well, please.
So, yeah.
Okay, now part B is a general 3-mark requirement. Explain what each of your calculations in A tells help nuts about the performance of gym and cafe. So what each of your calculations in it tells help nuts. So it's just 3 marks that what our calculations in part A tell us. Okay, so what your calculations in A tells help nuts. What are your calculations in A? Break even. What these calculations are telling, what this 6,003,147 is telling. You can write this. That this 6,000 is telling that the company needs 6,000 customers to visit in June in order to cover all costs and avoid loss. This is what this 6,000 is telling, that company must have 6,000 customers, okay, in order to avoid loss in gym. And in cafe, it must be using 3146 customers must be using the cafe to avoid loss. It's 3 marks. You can write these 2 lines that what these calculations are telling. In gym, 6,000 customers need to visit. In cafe, 3146 customers need to be visiting. And what do these calculations tell? The margin of safety is 40% and 36%. Margin of safety is the margin of error. The budgeted sales or budgeted customers are 9,900, but break even is 6,000. That means our budget can deviate by 40%. We have a margin of error of 40%. Still, we will not be in loss. And in cafe, it's 36%. That 495s you were planning, but break even is 746. Our budget can deviate by 36%. So just write what break even and MOS is telling, that would be it. So you've done 8 marks part in this. This 6 marks requirement is a good one now. Calculate the budgeted total weighted average contribution to sale ratio and budgeted profit per month for health nuts if it closes the cafe and opens a crash instead. This is interesting. 6 marks. Calculate the budgeted weighted average CS ratio and profit if it closes cafe and opens a crash. Let's mention the requirement. For this requirement, gym is opening. So gym will remain same. Okay. But cafe will close and instead they will open a crash. The cafe will close, gym stays open, cafe will close, will open a crash. Need weighted average contribution to sale ratio and profit if cafe is closed and crash is operated instead. So for that, I have to read information about the crash. That's the requirement: weighted average contribution to sale ratio and profit for month if cafe is closed and crash is opened. So what exactly is the crash proposal? After reviewing all the above information, the manager of Health Nuts has put together a proposal to close the cafe at the fitness center converted into crash. This would mean that parents could leave their children in the crash while they use the fitness center between hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The charge for crash would be 4 per child per hour. Pays per child per hour. Four. Okay. 4 per child. Initially, registered customers have an average of 2 children. So customer has 2 children on an average. Croatia is expected to attract new customers, increase average number of customers between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. by 300%. So Croatia will increase number of customers by 120. So Croatia would increase number of customers by 300%. That means they would increase number of customers by 120. So Croatia would have customers per day 120. Customers attending between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is 40, right? So Croatia would increase number of customers by 300%. So Croatia will have 120 customers, right? Only these new customers will use the Croatia facilities. Only these 120 will use the Croatia facilities. Car park usage is 80%. That's same 80% $1.8. Fixed cost of Croatia 8,000. Variable cost 0.5. So fixed cost 8,000. Variable cost 0.5. And variable cost per child per hour 0.5. Now this is the information of crasher. Now why I have information of the crasher now? Because the question clearly stated that you need to calculate weighted average contribution to sale ratio and profit if crashes, cafes close and crashes launch. So crasher pays 4 per child per hour. There are 2 children. Customers per day will be increased by 300%. Only these will use the crasher. 120. The variable cost remains same of the car park. Variable cost per child per hour of crash is 0.5 and fixed cost is 8,000 per month. But this crash is increasing number of customers by 300%, 120. So now in gym, the number of customers per day will be 450. Now in gym, the number of customers per day will be 450. There are 330, right? So if customers are increasing by 300%, only the 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., the 40 ones, they're increasing by 300%, increasing by 120. That means the number of customers will become 450, right? Please copy this data so that I can start the solution. जो एफर्ट क्लासेस लेने में FA1 MM1 में दी, क्या आपने वही एफर्ट FA2 MM2 में डाली तो मेरी नजर में इसका जवाब है नो, ठीक है। और क्या वही चीज आपने F1 F2 में डाली तो मुझे इसका जवाब है बिल्कुल नो, ठीक है। ये बात आप खुद भी जानती हो, इसके लिए कोई वो वाली बात नहीं, ठीक है। क्लासें तो आपने ली ही बहुत कम, सही, जो आपने ली उनमें आप देखो आधा आधा पौना पौना घंटा जो है वो सब आपका प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बहुत सारे बच्चों के साथ F1 F2 में प्रॉब्लम होता है। तो मेरे ख्याल में ना ये झटका बहुत जरूरी था कि बंदे को एक झटका लगे कि हाँ यार मैं जिस तरह से अपने आप को समझ रहा हूँ मैं वो नहीं हूँ। अच्छा, रही बात डीमोटिवेशन की, तो बहुत सारे ऐसे बच्चे जो FA1 MM1 में फेल हो जाते हैं ना, छोड़ के भाग नहीं जाते, they tried, give it again और फिर उसके बाद रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं। तो आप एक ट्राई और मारो अपने आप को सुधार के, और अगर एक ट्राई और में भी आप फेल हो जाती हो तो फिर आप चली जाओ, ये मेरा मशवरा है। बट थिंक अबाउट दैट, आपने इसको 1-1.5 साल दे दिए, पैसे जाया किए, टाइम जाया किया, अखबारी की, उसके बाद एकदम से भाग जाना बुजदड़ों वाली सोच रही है।
तो सर मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं ऑप्ट करी, कुछ किसी के लिए कोई डिग्री नहीं ली।
तो जाहिल थोड़ी रहना है भाई, डिग्री तो लेनी है ना, जाहिल तो नहीं रहना ना। तो ये है कि देखो किबला दुरुस्त हो जाए वो ज्यादा बेहतर बात है, फेल होना। Okay, now hopefully you have copied the data that you need a weighted average contribution to sale ratio in case the company is closing the cafe, opening the creche. So how much is the creche giving? 4 per hour, 2 children average customer, 120 per day because they're increasing by 300%, 120 on only those customers using the creche. Fixed cost 8,000, variable cost per child 1.5. And for the gym, it's nothing changing, but the customers are increasing by 120. So now instead of 330, they become 450. Weighted average contribution to sale ratio is just taking total contribution of company and total revenue of company. Total contribution in numerator, total revenue in denominator. So what is the total revenue of company? Now customers per day are 120 and total customers per month in treasure, it's 120 into 30. So if we talk about total revenue, just see the working here of total revenue. Revenue from gym is going to be 9.2 per customer. Okay, into how many customers are there? 13,500. Okay, plus for Crochet, the customer is paying 4 per child, but every customer has 2 children. So we will receive 8 revenue. And how many Crochet customers are there in the month? 3,600. So just the revenue is going to be 9.2 per customer for gym, 13,500 customers per month. Multiply it, you can see the working. And for the Crochet, it's 8, 4 per child, 2 children, 8, and 3,600 customers. Okay, you can copy if you want 9.2 to 13,500 plus 8 into 3,600. Okay, 153,000 is the revenue. Okay. I've opened the cell, you can copy. I've opened the cell, you can copy. Now total contribution of the company. Now from gym, the contribution is selling price 9.2 less variable cost 1.2. So contribution was 8 as calculated into number of customers 13,500 plus from Crochet. 8 is the selling price, customers paying 4 per child, so 2 children 8, and variable cost is 0.5 per child, 2 child 1. So the contribution is 7 and Crochet customers are 3,600. Just copy this. Okay. Once you have the total contribution and total revenue, so the weighted average contribution to sale ratio. is simply contribution on sales. So contribution is 133,200, but sales it's 153,000 in 200, 87%. This is the weighted average contribution to sales ratio, and profit is contribution less fixed cost. So contribution from both is 133,200 and fixed cost of both is 48,000 for gym and 3,600 for, sorry, 8,000 for crochet, so 56,000. So profit is gonna be 77,200. Okay, so this is, we are done with part C, and 14 marks requirement is done. You can please copy. Okay, now if we talk about the last part of this question, it's a 6 marks generalized requirement. Advise help notes considering both financial and non-financial factors, whether it should replace the cafe with crochet, and whether calculations in part C provide enough information to make such a decision. Okay, so first of all, calculations in part C do not provide enough information, because calculations in part C only relate to profit, which is a financial factor. Okay, so calculations in part C don't provide enough information, but you need to take a decision whether we should replace the cafe with a crochet. Now, on financial grounds, if you see, if you replace it with a cafe, the profit is 77,200. Whereas in the previous part, when you were just having a gym, okay, you can just calculate the profit from gym and cafe. Okay, that contribution 8.4 plus 0.8, 9.2 less variable cost 1.2. So it's total contribution 8 multiplied by this 9,900 customers. 9.2 less 1.28 multiplied by 9,900 customers, you get contribution from here. Then the contribution from cafe you can calculate and deduct the fixed costs. Fixed costs are 48,000 here and 3,600 here. So you will see how much profit gym and cafe were giving and how much profit gym and Crochet were giving. And you can compare to decide which is the better option, right? You can do this. But the problem is that this is only a financial factor. Like whoever is giving the better choice, that is only based on financial grounds, right? But if you use a non-financial factor, because closing the cafe may result in less advertisement, like people who come just for cafe, they see, oh, they have a good gym as well. So automatic advertisement and marketing is done. But now if you close the cafe, they're not going to come to you. So this is going to be a big loss for you. This factor has to be taken into consideration, right? Plus non-financial factor that it's considered a bad omen in the market that, oh, company has closed one of its unit. So if you close one of your units, that means you are basically on loss somewhere. So all these factors need to be considered in non-financial mode as well before deciding whether you should go for it or not. Okay, so this past paper is completed. Hope you enjoyed this class. Take care. Have a nice day. Do read the theoretical answer from the exam and answer. Bye-bye.